Wow, Haps, you wrote a book?
Oh, yeah, it was easy, Rena. The story was really popular when I was a child. Rock helped with the pictures. Oh, turn the page.
Oh, wow.
More than 1,000 years ago, everyone was afraid of the Vikings. Oh, they were fierce fighters. They were bloodthirsty and violent. They were my ancestors.
Vikings lived in Iceland, Denmark, Sweden, and Norway.
Yeah.
They lived on farms and in small villages. They raised cattle for milk and meat, and sheep for milk and meat, too. They raised horses, too.
That's right.
They rode their horses, ate their horses, and sacrificed their horses to their gods. To protect their families, Vikings built walls around their settlements. And when they wanted to travel, at first to trade, they built ships.
That's right, yeah, they did.
Yeah, big ships that could voyage far from their native land. The Vikings traveled a lot. When they traveled, they destroyed monasteries and stole the most valuable treasures.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, yikes. They killed a lot of people, too.
Oh, well.
And not just in monasteries. Mostly, they attacked places in England. About 1,200 years ago, the Vikings took over England.
My ancestors were murderers, thieves, arsonists, bad people. They were the terrorists of their times.
Not like you.
Oh, no. In Dublin, Vikings bought and sold tens of thousands of Scots, Anglo-Saxons, and Irish as slaves. Oh, Vikings were great at crime and destruction. Best in class by any measure. Of course, all that travel was tough on Viking ships. Vikings built sturdy ships to last. Every Viking ship was hand-built, similar but different from every other Viking ship.
Wow.
And the ships could travel fast. They could navigate shallow water, too. And sometimes, something needed to be repaired or replaced.
The Vikings liked to name their ships.
Oh, that's true.
This one was called the Cyclower, which means sea smart. It contained over 1,000 wooden pieces and parts. There were 30 seats for 60 rowers on each side of the ship. Slowly but surely, wear and tear required each of the 60 oar holes to be repaired.
Whoa, that's a lot.
Cyclower didn't like to wear replacement parts. It made her feel weak and imperfect. She hated it when floor timbers in the hull were replaced. Some of them didn't even come from Scandinavia. They came from Anglo-Saxon lands. More and more of Cyclower's body felt inauthentic. She was beginning to feel less like a proud warship, more like a pile of replacement timber.
Ooh.
She hated herself.
Oh, no.
If you're a warship, it's unwise to carry a negative self-image.
Then came the crash.
Uh-oh.
Cyclower was running in shallow waters and scraped the bottom. Oh, that made the ship vulnerable. Oh, an attack! With fire!
Oh, no!
Oh, the worst of all possible disasters.
For hundreds of years, the sturdy old ship took a mud bath.
Mud bath.
As the mud grew thick, Cyclower seemed to disappear. As it happens, so did the Vikings.
Yeah.
Times had changed. It was no longer profitable to raid and sack villages or monasteries. Europe had moved on. Hey, that tickles! Everything was polished and new. The people in the museum were rebuilding Cyclower. Now, one small piece of Cyclower's original wood remains in her body. This plank of wood.
Cyclower doesn't fight anymore, so she has a lot of time to think. She thinks about the one piece of original wood in her body. And she wonders, am I still me?
And then Cyclower thinks some more. And she wonders, given all of the bad things that the Vikings did, about how lucky she is to have only one authentic piece of wood remaining, to have everything else gone, and perhaps best forgotten.
Yeah.